me. You can hear us, but you can't see us. Give me a second. I don't know what's happening. There we are. Hello. What's happening? Well, we weren't on screen, but now we are. Here we are. Welcome to yet another episode of the Spoilercast, the show where we, what do? We watch movies and we don't
talk about movies and don't care about spoiling them.
Right. Yeah, this has been one hell of a week for me, so I'm a little out of it. And this is actually a kind of a special episode in one way, because it's kind of a crossover with my other podcast, the Adam Sandler podcast, where this Tuesday we were supposed to do the final episode, and then this was supposed to be kind of like an epilogue where we talk about, well, we're going to talk about Hubie Halloween, or it's Hubie. They call him Hubie. Hubie Halloween. But that final episode of the Adam Sandler podcast was postponed to next Tuesday. So
we're calling this a segue.
We're calling this, a soft opening to the finale. Which is kind of good actually. Instead of, because we're gonna end the Adam Sandler podcast on Uncut Gems, and spoilers, that movie was amazing. So it's better to do this before we do Uncut Gems, I think. So it all worked out fine in the end. But yes, sorry, I forgot to introduce, as always, my friend,
Oh.
but also sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Oh.
And we're gonna talk about Hubie Halloween. Very fitting, since this is the first episode we're doing in October, right? I think so, right?
I think so.
Because last Thursday was the 1st of October.
Yeah,
so,
okay, but you know.
Whatever.
Almost.
And it's very fortuitous that Adam Sandler decided to make a Halloween movie this year. It fit our channel very well. But anyway,
Well,
it's my channel. Yeah, I guess it's mostly my channel. I have guest hosts or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm a little, other than this week being hell for me at work, I'm a little confused now, because this feels like an Adam Sandler podcast, but it's actually a spoiler podcast. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. On the Adam Sandler podcast, I ask you, what did you think of the movie? Or usually I ask, have you seen the movie before? But this is a new movie, so I can't really do that. So I'm not sure.
Basically, the same probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna talk about the movie, so.
Let's start like this. I got it.
Okay.
Because I said that just before we started airing. We've never really talked about Adam Sandler movies. I mean, we've probably seen a couple together, like Happy Gilmore when we were kids or something, but that's about it. Little Nicky. I know, because you bought it on DVD, and then I got your DVD when you were... It. Yeah, I have your DVD, or I guess it's mine now. When
you have a bunch of mine.
Yeah, you were getting rid of your DVDs. I'm like, fuck that, I'm gonna take those.
At least the ones are worth something.
Yeah, and Little Nicky for some reason.
Because it's... Okay, never mind.
Never mind. Check out the Adam Sandler podcast episode where we talk about Little Nicky, though.
Do that instead.
Yeah. At least my opinion on that movie has changed drastically since I was 10. Anyway, so just in general, to kick this off, what is your opinion on Adam Sandler and his movies? Do you have an opinion?
Yes, I have an opinion.
Right.
There's two sides of Adam Sandler for me. There's the ones where where his character is a dum-dum.
Right.
And then there's the ones where he's just a normal dude, more or less.
Okay.
The normal dudes are fine. I can take those movies. They're somewhat entertaining, some of them. Well, entertaining, yeah, but they're good, some of them.
Do you have any examples of where he's just a regular dude?
Murder Mystery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
That's like a normal dude kind of thing. He's not weird. He doesn't do that awful voice.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into the awful voices.
Yeah. But the characters where he does the awful voice, I don't really like them. I can't really stand them. Any of those movies, to be honest, because the jokes just go too far.
They're stupid.
Frustrated noises. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
But like, even like the silly ones that where he is playing a normal dude, like Grown Ups, is fine. I can watch that without cringing too much.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I've talked.
That's generally not all of them. There's probably some.
Sure.
You know.
Well, I've talked all year about what I think about Adam Sandler, so I'm not going to go into it too much. I'll just say this: I used to be a fan when I was a kid. I really liked, like everyone did or does. I liked Happy Gilmore. I guess I liked Billy Madison. And a couple of others of the late '90s movies I liked, Waterboy or even what's it called? Big Daddy. I liked when I was a kid. But then, yeah, as I got older, I rewatched those and weren't as big of a fan, and I saw the evolution of Adam Sandler's movies and got less and less interested. And there was long period where I didn't watch any Adam Sandler movies at all until it kind of culminated when you and I actually went and saw Pixels in the theater. Do you remember that?
Saw Pixels in theater?
Yes, I talk about it.
I do not remember that.
I talk about this in the Pixels episode of the Adam Sandler podcast, where I hadn't even had Adam Sandler on my radar for years and years and years. Probably like 10 years. I just heard that he made terrible movies, and I was like, yeah, I remember he made some bad movies. And then you wanted to go see Pixels.
Which year is this?
This is 2015, like July, August 2015, maybe. And I was like, why? And he was like, I don't know. And you said, you don't know. It looks like it could be fun. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go see it. Because I'd never seen an Adam Sandler movie in the theaters. So I thought, yeah, I'll go watch it. Maybe it's fun. I haven't seen one in 10 years. Let's see.
I haven't seen Pixels since, I think.
I did earlier this year. And my God, is it terrible?
I mean, I remember what the poster is like, and like what I think I remember of it is like it looks sort of like Ghostbusters, but with game characters instead of ghosts.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
So maybe that's why I wanted to see it.
It's very reminiscent of the 2016 Ghostbusters. Very colorful, a lot of CGI ghosts and silliness. Yeah, I don't know but do you remember what you thought of it?
Nope, no clue. But considering I haven't seen it since, I probably wasn't that entertained.
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't like it at all, and I hated it even more watching it this year. So, since Pixels, have you seen any other Adam Sandler movies before this?
Murder Mystery.
Okay. So
I think that's the only one.
You skipped all the other Netflix Adam Sandler movies.
I have to check. I don't actually remember.
Because he has made a bunch of Netflix movies since Pixels. He had 6 movie
I've seen
deal.
the Hotel Transylvania, like first and second.
Oh yeah. We in the Adam Sandler podcast we only count the live action star vehicles. So we never watched Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, okay.
We realized that podcast would be too long, so we started like cutting off a bunch of movies where he's in, but like no, he's not the star in this. This is an animated movie. Fuck that. So
I mean, honestly, I'm looking through his
IMDb.
His IMDb, and I've seen maybe like every 5th movie or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I mean, you get to like I've seen the Grown Ups movies. 1 and 2, then you skip to Pixels. I've seen that one, and then you have to skip up to Murder Mystery.
Okay, so you skipped all of the Netflix movies. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's good because none of them are anything any good. Maybe Sandy Wexler a little bit, but it's not a good movie. But anyway,
So I mean, I'm not a fan of Adam Sandler, to be honest.
So here we are, Hubie Halloween, and let's start the conversation, and let's start by asking you, what do you think of it?
I mean, if you removed some of the stupid jokes,
Yeah.
it's an okay movie. It was somewhat entertaining. I had to stop and go away because I was cringing a couple of times. But other than that, it was okay. It was actually kind of a good like story mystery kind of thing, and I did like his character somewhat.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh well.
But
We'll get
then
into
they
this.
exaggerated it when like the boner thing.
Yeah, that was a running gag.
Why?
That wasn't even. It was
Oh, no fun.
barely funny the first time, and they had it like throughout the movie.
It would have kind of been funny if he was like, if someone, well, he probably could have explained to his mother, like, no, that shirt means that.
Yeah.
A boner isn't a mistake. It's.
Well.
Yeah.
But
Would have. I don't know. That would kind of been more fun that his mother made that mistake.
Yeah, but then they couldn't.
But then they kept running with it. And
Yeah.
just went on way too far.
Because they wanted to make fun of Hubie and make him say boner bunch. Thing is though, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that in the olden days, before boner was an erection, a boner was actually you making a fool out of yourself. Oh, you boner, or you're such a boner, something like that. Where it
well, yeah,
it was basically a word for
translates.
making a mistake, maybe, but like a clumsy mistake, like sort of like nincompoop.
If you translate in Google Translate, if you translate boner, it translates in Swedish to tabbe,
Yeah, exactly.
which
A
is
mistake,
just like
a silly
little
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
But
makes
then-
sense that they keep the word like that, but it wasn't funny. That was the thing.
No, and since he's saying it so loudly, so much in front of a bunch of what are they, 16-year-olds?
Yeah, everyone's like,
It's not gonna work because they're not gonna get that it is actually an old word for mistake.
yeah,
And they're making a silly character use it in front of kids. No, it's just gonna go as boner, like, right? Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if we want to talk. Well, it's not really tangent. Let's talk about Hubie as a character, because he Adam Sandler has a couple of characters that he keeps, or characteristics that he recycles, and this is the what do you want to call it, like mentally deficient person that nobody calls a retard because he's not diagnosed, he's just stupid. Sort of like Billy Madison is like that. A water boy is like that. In a way, his character in Punch Drunk Love is like that, but it's played not for laughs. And I think it's kind of weird that he's basically, like Robert Downey Jr. said, he goes full retard. He's basically playing a stupid person, and they make fun of a stupid person in this movie, which I think is kind of weird. I get it. That's it's silly to laugh at someone like that, but even I, who shun progressiveness, I feel it's kind of tasteless to do a character like this in 2020.
Especially since he's done it like 10 times already.
Yeah, that too, and it's just doing the voice and like
it's the same. Isn't he like sort of? I'm once again looking through his IMDb, trying to remember in which movies he has the exact same thing. I mean, he does the same voice in characteristics sometimes, even when he's playing the more serious version of himself.
Yeah, but then kind of
he's
does a voice.
exaggerating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the closest to this is the Water Boy.
Yeah, probably.
But he talks like this. Oh, this is quality. It's so, but it's more like this.
And a bit in the Billy Madison is the one when goes back to school, right?
Yeah. There's an opening bit where he talks gibberish for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's in this voice, and it's the most insane scene I've ever seen. Anyway, yeah. So I think I don't get.
You said it's a bit much to do it. I mean, I get that it was fun in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's
sort of, but
anymore.
It hasn't aged well.
Yeah, if you want to make the character simple, you can do that, but you don't have to make him look like stupid, like I speak like this hamburger. Like you don't have to play it up like that because it's crass and it's
Tasteless.
tasteless. Yeah. If you want to make him like a simple character, you can do that. He can be he play it more like Hollywood's favorite mental deficiency. Play it like he has Asperger's, like avoid eye contact and maybe stutter a little bit and yeah, just be awkward in social situations, which this character is, but with a goofy
Yeah,
voice, which just makes it all very, very tasteless.
but he's not too awkward in social situations to be.
That too. He
That's the
is
thing. They kind of take the silliest aspects of any mental deficiency you can think of,
yeah,
or mental disease, basically, and just cram them all together and put him in a grown ass man's body,
yeah,
then exaggerated by adding on weird quirks like mixing three kinds of very different soups
yeah, all these weird things.
and boner jokes and poop jokes.
Yeah. And the whole thing, like the character feels like it's ripped out of like an early '90s or mid '90s
Yeah,
Sandler movie. Like he still lives with his mom even though he's a grown up. He's never had a girlfriend, and he is like he's socially inept. He's fixated on this one thing, and it's old because he's done it before, and in this day and age, just it's a little bit offensive.
yeah.
I don't problematic. I don't like using that word, but it kind of is. It kind of
It kind of
is.
is. Maybe it's time though that he gets to be called out for being problematic. So maybe he drops this kind of character
Yeah,
or
well,
evolves it.
problem is that's not going to happen.
Nah,
He
probably
he
not.
made a movie in 2012 where in the first 5 minutes you have pedophilia and rape that is played off as a joke.
Which movies?
That's My Boy. A 12-year-old boy is forced to have sex with his like 25-year-old teacher. Now, because it's a guy, it's like, whoa, he got to have sex with a hot teacher.
Right, yeah.
But it is literally statutory rape. And before it happens, he says, "No, please, no, I don't know what I'm doing." And
Oh
this is
my
played as a
god.
joke. Me and Christopher, when we talked about this, it was, I mean, I it is the most sickening movie I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen like physically more like gory movie stuff, but just
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
the implications of that is just like, what the fuck? And he wasn't called out for it at all. It's no one has ever written an article like, "Oh, the problematic nature of That's My Boy." I mean, it should be. People think everything is problematic now, but no one's ever mentioned that movie. I don't get it. So he's not gonna
Never
get called out
seen.
for it.
No, that's true. I've never seen anything about any of his movies or characters
No,
getting called out.
he's never gonna get called out for it, and I don't know why. Because people just, it's Adam Sandler. He's a nice guy. It's so weird. It's so weird.
That is weird.
Anyway, so that's not gonna happen.
No, I mean they could have gotten away with some of the things they do with Hubie here.
Sure.
Um,
Like I said,
because I mean
he could be.
he's not dumb.
No, he's not.
I mean he's very very skilled with certain things. Like he's got great dodging abilities,
Yeah, that was
and
also a running gag that. Well, we'll get
it
to
was
that.
a bit exaggerated. But like
Yeah.
he's not stupid. He knows that he should avoid certain things. He knows that certain people are going to do certain things.
Yeah.
He's developed skills to make him able to escape from certain situations quickly.
But then,
So I mean, it's just weird that he then doesn't know how to handle the fact that a girl comes up to him and like professes her love to him. I mean, sure, you're,
yeah.
you're supposed to like freeze up and get a bit uncomfortable, but not within the first second start yelling the code word and running away, basically. Like
Yeah.
back off and get quiet or something. Just don't make it too much.
Yeah. But before we get more into that, let's break down the plot a little bit. It's it starts the day before Halloween in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I guess they don't say Salem, Massachusetts, but they implicate that
It says
it's
Salem.
Salem, yeah, but I don't know. Usually you meant, I don't know, whatever. They don't
Maybe
actually
they do.
say
I
it's
don't remember
the
which
Salem.
state.
I don't know. Anyway,
They just say it's
it's
Salem,
Salem,
the
yeah.
witch capital sort of thing.
Yeah. And Hubie is like a big fan of Halloween.
Yes.
Even though he gets scared by everything, he likes Halloween. He gets scared by his own decorations, but he likes Halloween for some reason. I know they give like there's a one sentence thing where he says, "Well, we're Jewish, so that cuts out Christmas
Oh
and
yeah.
Easter." But yeah,
And some other holiday.
yeah, but I mean, that doesn't mean you have to like another holiday just because. I don't know.
I mean, he could have chosen a Jewish holiday to like.
Yeah, what's wrong with what's it called? I guess Pesach.
Like
It's like
Hanukkah?
yeah, or Hanukkah or Passover. I guess it's the same as Pesach though. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. And then each Halloween he is like a neighborhood watch type of guy.
He's self-proclaimed hall monitor.
Yeah, Salem monitor,
Yeah.
but only on Halloween, not any other days.
Well, he's a bit of a safety guy in general, but Halloween is the most dangerous day of the year, basically, after I
Yeah.
think New Year's.
Yeah, where they and he goes out and patrols.
Yeah.
And this Halloween something's afoot.
Because it's a full moon.
Yeah, it's a full moon, and the movie actually starts with a cameo from Ben Stiller playing the same character he does in Happy Gilmore, Hal, the nurse from Happy Gilmore's grandma's retirement home.
But he looks familiar.
Yeah. And we see that someone has escaped from a mental institute or asylum, I suppose. So there's a crazy guy loose in Salem, and it's a full moon, and it's time for Hubie to go patrolling. But then people start disappearing, and he has to figure out who is taking them and why.
And we find out certain details about this escaped mental patient.
Yeah.
As well as we see the relationship between the townsfolk and Hubie develop, sort of, or explained, I guess.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah. Because that's basically what it is. People start disappearing. We have some red herrings. The new neighbor, this escaped mental patient. They even suspect the love interest at a certain point that might be her.
Yeah.
And it's all about Hubie trying to figure out who is kidnapping or taking or killing these people, these townspeople. In a series of goofy situations. That's the plot.
About the entire movie.
Yeah. Turns out, let's just get to the end. Turns out, it's not the escaped mental patient. It's not the crazy neighbor. It's not the love interest.
The too nice girlfriend material.
Yeah, it's his mom, who is kidnapping everyone who has been mean to Hubie and is going to burn them at the stake in the end.
Yeah.
And that
making some sort of reference to his ancestor being around a witch trial, saying there are no witches, people are just mean.
Yeah, exactly, because her great grandma was hung as a witch.
Oh, was she? Yeah, maybe she was.
Yeah. And that plot that came out of nowhere. You had no idea sort of like murder mystery. You have no chance of figuring that out.
Yeah.
Which was kind of annoying, and it's very like. It feels a little over the top that she's going to kill the people who have been mean to Hubie. Mainly because we've only seen them being mean to him in the context of a movie like a couple of times. Like, but they
well, yeah, it's during like 1-2 days tops.
Yeah, but like, oh, they've been bullying him his whole life. But I mean, the bullying is obviously not deterred him from doing what he wants to do. So I don't know.
He's still the same weird person doing the same weird things, even though I don't even know if they mention how old he is, but he's probably 30 something
Oh yeah, I'm
or
guessing he's
40.
supposed to be like in his 40s, where it starts to get really weird that you're still living at
So
home.
yeah, it's a bit weird that his mother's like, now I have to help you
Yeah,
get through this.
why
It's like
not?
it's
Why
been
not
40
before?
years. Why not do it when he's 16?
Yeah, exactly. Um, and I was hoping that the neighbor played by Steve Buscemi was actually going to be not the villain, but turn out to be what he actually what they were hinting at, that he's a werewolf. That would have been interesting because you
I
had
kind of thought he was though, or is this because he's
no,
he's a
he's
mental
crazy.
patient?
Yeah, because they
And
mentioned
he thinks he
even
is one.
yeah even the hair he has on his arms is glued on.
Oh yeah, they mentioned
They
that.
mentioned that. Because the two red herrings, the psychopath who has escaped and the werewolf neighbor, are much more interesting than the actual kidnapper or villain in the movie, the mother.
And
Because
they didn't even take advantage of the escaped patient enough. He was just standing around a few scenes. That's
yeah,
about it. They didn't use him for anything.
and when they reveal who
I
he
wouldn't even.
is,
I didn't even suspect him to be honest, because he was just standing there.
yeah, and when they reveal who he is, when he goes into the house of the neighbor and says, "We need to talk," I thought, oh, it is them. They're doing
Yeah,
something, but no, it wasn't that. They just had to talk because they wanted to go back to the hospital together. What? Says
weird. Like, why did they want to go back? It didn't make sense.
I don't know, because the one who was still there was lonely because they were cellmates. So he wanted to bring back the other one so they could be cellmates together, and then it would be fine.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
the way it's like it's kind of odd that they don't even like, because you get a few details about them towards the end of the movie. Like it turns out that the escaped mental patient, the later one, the not werewolf thinking one, is an old classmate of Hubie.
Yeah,
And the guy who thinks he's a werewolf, he escaped about 2 months ago.
yeah. They never mentioned that.
Why didn't they mention that? Oh my god, it could be the guy who escaped 2 months ago.
Yeah, yeah. That would have been good to know. Like we have two escaped mental patients.
Yeah, because
That,
that would have made him even more of a
but
suspect.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Adam Sandler and Tim Herlihy, the guys who wrote this movie, who write a lot of Adam Sandler's movies, they don't think.
No.
Having an escaped mental patient as your red herring is it's a classic like horror movie thing. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's Halloween. I guess it's Silence
We've
of the
seen it a
Lambs
hundred
technically.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen it a bunch of
We
times.
saw it in AHS as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. So they wanted to have the escaped mental patient be one of them. They wanted the freaky neighbor to first of all maybe be the escaped mental patient, but then later turn out to be maybe a werewolf.
Yeah.
So they wanted to have two red herrings, but then they forgot to write in that the first is the werewolf neighbor was also an escaped mental patient. Then they never mentioned that until the end because they weren't thinking about
It
that.
didn't matter because it was too late.
Yeah, why weren't the cops looking for this guy? He has been missing for a month. He's locked in there because he's crazy. He eats like animals because he thinks he's a werewolf. No.
And dog food.
Yeah, lots of dog food. No, they don't think about that. They just wanted a werewolf neighbor and an escaped mental patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had the three suspects. They could have fleshed them out and played them out so much more to actually fit the horror stereotype.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, make them more of a suspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah.
The very nice, the overly nice,
Yeah.
everyone like trusty, nice girl.
She's actually
who's
crazy, and she
yeah,
kills everyone who's mean to Hubie.
And yeah, that would
like
almost make more sense.
Yeah, but no, yeah, and she's not fleshed out at all, and which makes her just a super weird character. That she's basically from the first scene they have together, she's basically throwing herself at Hubie.
Oh yeah,
and it makes no sense because he is.
Nope.
Listen, the character is lovable, but he's not like boyfriend or husband material. Like
they say, he's the nicest guy in town. So
Yeah,
everyone should like be nice to him and want to be like on a good side with him.
yeah.
Like I can't be mean to you. You're such a nice guy, but you would never ever have like a romantic or, God forbid, sexual fantasy about him.
No, yeah. What's the attraction? He's weird. He's awkward. He drinks a lot of soup. No, it's he's nice. But
Yeah, nice is an attraction.
yeah,
You don't fall in love with
no,
nice.
you become friends with nice.
Yeah,
Then of course, yeah, of course you can fall in love with someone who's nice, but that's
there needs
after
to be
you've
more.
known them. There needs to be more, and that's maybe after you've known them and realized that there's more to them. But here, he's just a nice guy, and
And also,
she's
like that bullshit, like you don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, but if the cover isn't interesting enough, you're not ever even gonna look at it.
yeah.
And he does not have an interesting cover. Because what you see of him is, I'm not saying just like looks, I'm saying like what they portray, like what they put out into the
Yeah,
world.
he's
What you
just
see of him is not interesting enough for you to start digging deeper and finding out if he's actually an interesting person.
yeah, he's just weird and awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
not enough.
Um, but it's also that's also a trope in when Adam Sandler writes his movies that even though he's weird and awkward, and even in like some movies where he's downright like mean spirited and offensive, the love interest always like uh
The best in him?
no, but usually they don't like him at first, but then they like just switch halfway through the movie and like, oh my god, I actually do like him, and they fall head over heels in love with him. Here they kind of just did that from the beginning.
Well, yeah, because these people have known each other since the first grade or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Um, and then the love interest kind of becomes this like they only exist in the movie to like praise Adam Sandler's character, like, oh, you're so nice, you're so good, you're the best person in the city or in the town. And this happens a lot, and in this movie, that's just right off the bat the only reason she's in the movie, to tell the audience, no, you know what, everyone else is wrong. Hubie is a really good and nice person. He's the best person in the world.
Yeah, they're just there to convince the audience to like him.
Yeah, and that gets
You
then.
shouldn't need someone to convince the audience to like him.
Yeah,
The
you should
character
you should
itself should be able to do that.
you should show him being a nice person, which
Yeah.
they do,
I mean, they show, yeah,
but
but it's not that kind of nice. It's the weird
he's
nice.
he's yeah, he's awkward, he's in the way, he's annoying. Not in a bad way, but I can.
No, and some of the things that they play off as weird or too weird and too annoying is kind of just like, why? Like the one thing that bothered me was at the museum when he comes in and he's like, I noticed the line was long. Here, I printed out some of these find the word
Museum?
Halloween. Yeah, the witch museum.
Oh, yeah.
He
Sure.
prints out these papers where you can like find the word and it's Halloween themed. And he's like, maybe you can hand them out to the kids in the line and keep them like entertained.
Yeah.
And that is really sweet, and that is just, why the fuck not? No,
Yeah.
she throws him out.
Uh,
That's just weird. I mean, it's a weird thing to do, to even like think, oh, I can print out papers for the kids. But at the same time, just that was just a nice thing that maybe someone who is actually has a diagnosis would probably do, and you wouldn't be rude enough to throw their paper out, would
yeah.
you?
And then we get.
So they do two extremes, and it's just ugh.
Yeah, and then it goes back to like them not actually wanting to portray him as someone who has something. There's something
Yeah.
wrong with them or whatever, because then of course there's always going to be like assholes who make fun of people with mental disabilities.
They exist everywhere and
yeah,
always.
but in real life, everyone is nice to a person like that because uh, they're obviously struggling with everyday life, so it's good to be nice to them. I mean, we have a mutual friend, Kevin. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you first of all, you're nice to him because he's the nicest person ever, even if he can be a little bit of an asshole sometimes, and he knows it. I know that. But I mean, they're just inherently nice people, and that's why you're nice back to them.
Yeah, and I mean, you know that they have a simpler mind. So why do such unnecessary complex things as being rude when you can just be No, thank you.
Just be normal.
Yeah.
But then if Hubie in this movie doesn't have a mental disability, but he's just a nerd or a doofus or whatever, an awkward guy who gets picked on. They kind of want him to be both. Like, they want people to pick on him, which would be super weird if he actually has a mental disability. But they also want him to be able to be picked on so that he is the underdog. So they kind of play him as just a weirdo and someone who has a mental disability. And they can't really choose, which just makes it very, very awkward when grown people get angry with him and, like, push him into a grave and
Yeah.
it's just, what are we supposed to get out of this? Are we supposed to laugh at them pushing the guy into the grave? Just, wait a minute. And
again, it's not funny when it's grown-ups doing it, because grown-ups should know better.
Yeah, they should know better. Either way, whatever his problem is, they should know better.
Because you're an adult.
But,
be an adult. Act as an adult. Don't act like a... I'll give you like a 20-year-old maximum can do that
at the
shit.
Yeah, like a really immature 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, this is Ray
I mean, I know too, but...
yeah, sure. But this is Ray Liotta. He's pushing 60.
Okay, maybe he's not playing 60 because
but
they
he's
went to school at the
he's
same time.
at least playing the
40
end
something.
of the 40s, yeah, at
Yeah.
least. So
And he's doing it because he's insecure about his stupidity, his own stupidity. That's bullshit.
Yeah, he doesn't pick on anyone else.
No.
So it's so weird.
Because that was also the weirdest explanation I've ever heard. He's doing it because he's insecure about his own stupidity, and Hubie's throwing around these big words, being all confident and all. But, what?
That's also such a weirdly specific thing. Like, if a bully wants to bully you, he's just gonna say, "Yo,
I mean,
because I hate him."
everyone else in that cast used bigger words than him. Why shouldn't he push them into graves?
Well, because Hubie is the star of the movie, and he needs to be the underdog. So everybody has to hate him, except or I guess like half of the people have to hate him, while the rest like him or something.
Or are just indifferent to him and leave him be, I guess.
It's so confusing and irritating, and it's poor writing. It's what it is. Poor characterization.
Yes.
And
once again, we have the same characters within everyone else. I mean, the actors are playing the same characters over and over again.
Yeah.
Not only Adam Sandler. So we're getting the same repetition of these weird things that they do in the other characters as well.
Yeah.
It's not just Adam Sandler being the same doofus he's always, but Kevin James he is the exact same person.
Yeah,
as he is in Grown Ups. Even
he's a bumbling idiot.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to wonder if Kevin, what's his name? You just said it.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. He must be getting tired of always being the funny fat guy. I mean, he is big, but if you watch his YouTube channel, and if you watch, he has done some other movies where he's not just a funny fat guy fall over, character. I wonder if must be getting old to always be the funny fat guy, because even in this movie, didn't you notice that he's constantly eating candy? Because fat guys eat candy all the time, right?
Especially fat cops.
In America. When Hubie asks him if he can have a Hershey's Kiss, he's like, "No, I only have 30 left." Like, ha ha ha, fat guy likes chocolate. He wants to have all of it. Like, come on. Let him
getting old.
Yeah, let him be something else. He has at least a little bit of... He has more range than Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Well...
A little bit. Tiny bit.
In these kind of movies, he does. Adam Sandler has done better work in other movies, but whatever. In these kinds of movies, he's better than Adam Sandler. Give him something else to do, please.
And I mean, the others as well. I mean, Tim Meadows and Maya Rudolph, who play the Hennessy's.
Yeah.
They've played couples before, right? I think.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I know she's the wife in Grown Ups, but he's not the husband in that case.
That's Chris Rock in those movies.
Yeah. But they have the same dynamic as Maya Rudolph and Chris Rock has in Grown
Yes,
Ups.
yes,
The exact same dynamics that
yeah,
she wears the pants in the family, well, in the relationship, and bosses him around, and he's trying his best to like please her and turn her on,
yeah,
and
and that's their
really miss-
entire
that's
character.
their entire skit. That's all they do
Yeah, and that's
throughout the
also
movie.
so
All of
annoying.
their like 3 scenes, but still.
Yeah, that's also super annoying. I'm not a huge fan of Tim Meadows, but Maya Rudolph is one of my like favorite SNL uh, performers or whatever. SNL
Shit.
comedians. Yeah, yeah, she's super funny. She can be really, really funny when she wants to.
I haven't watched enough SNL lately
No, well,
to remember what she's like, to be
she's
honest.
she's like from the early 2000s.
That's true. I mean, I've
She's in
seen
the
a lot of the
same
early 2000s.
yeah, she's like in the same I guess troupe as Will Ferrell and oh no, what's
She's done some stuff with Amy Poehler, right?
Amy Poehler? Thank you, Amy
Yeah.
Poehler. She's in the same campus that they were like the next like big group after the Adam Sandler years.
Yeah.
There's always like the in between, but then they have they
These
were
these were like the originals of that era.
yeah of the early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of that, but it's been a while since I saw it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, any character I remember her in, she is this character.
Oh, okay. Because I've
Which
seen
is
her actually
which is
be
sad.
funny, but in Adam Sandler, what is she? Well, I was gonna ask.
What have she done lately except for Adam Sandler movies?
She was in that I think she was in that Netflix movie. Was it Wine Country with Amy Poehler? I think.
But isn't that like Bridesmaids, but
Sort
not
of. Yeah,
Bridesmaids?
sort of.
And I'm not
Um,
a fan of that kind of movie as well, to be honest. So
no, I haven't seen that one, but I'm thinking of her in the SNL days. She was really funny.
well, yeah, but that's been years.
Yeah, I know, but I wish she got something better to work with than fucking Grown Ups and this shit.
Yeah, because I'm like scrolling through her IMDb, and she has not done a lot of things outside of Adam Sandler productions
No, well,
or just being the voice of some things.
oh, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if there's a correlation, but I know she married Paul Thomas Anderson a few years ago or several years ago. Maybe she
And
just settled in. I don't know.
yeah,
And she does this for
possibly.
fun with some of her old SNL friends. Maybe I don't know. Either way, I think she could do much better if she wanted to, but maybe she doesn't want to. That's sad.
Maybe she's fine.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Steve Buscemi and Rob Schneider. They
Well,
can be great actors sometimes.
Steve
They
Buscemi,
can be way
yes.
more funny than Adam Sandler.
Steve Buscemi, yes. Rob Schneider, well, I don't know. I don't know.
At least he has a bit more different characters to pick from. He has more than two.
He is the hot chick, he is the animal, and he's Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. That's about it.
Oh, I remember him in what's it called? 51st Dates? I think he's funny in that one.
As the weirdo like
Yeah.
animal handler. Okay, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like at least he has a bit more diversity in his characters.
He can
A
be
bit
funny.
more.
Yeah, he can be funny as those small kind of weird roles, sure.
Yeah.
And here he has nothing to do. His character
He
wears
has literally like what, 2 lines?
yeah, because other than that, there's a guy wearing a mask, and I'm pretty sure that's not even him.
No, you see that's supposed to be the mother. Cause she sits with the mask beside her when he comes home.
Oh no,
And it's
no, but when you see him running around with the pig mask,
oh,
that's
okay, yeah, no,
actually
that's not
his
her.
character.
That's someone who's way bigger.
Exactly, that's someone else. That's not Rob Schneider running around.
Yeah.
He's not gonna do
Because
that.
it's tiny, right?
Yeah, fuck that. I think
Yeah, so the entire movie is just basically a repeat of old characters in a new setting with a slightly new mystery.
yeah, but yeah, and that's the only interesting part, that the movie takes place during Halloween, and I gotta give the movie that it actually looks like a movie. You have like good lighting,
Oh yeah.
because it's fall, so there's a lot of colors everywhere, and Halloween, so you have good lighting. You actually have good or fine cinematography.
Yeah.
when they're in like spooky places and stuff like that, and because of all the Halloween decorations and everyone's wearing costumes, everything looks fun and exciting. There's
and interesting. Yeah, there's a lot to look at and a lot to flesh out
yeah,
the world you're in at the
yeah,
moment.
like comparing it to Jack and Jill, which is just like a beige nightmare. This at least
God.
looks interesting.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they squander the Halloween theme on this pointless story about his mother capturing his bullies. Like, it should have actually, like, let's do it really quickly. Because what?
Keep the Halloween theme and actually have something supernatural or witchy or something be the bad guy.
Yes, let's do what we usually do, and try to rewrite the Who-Be Halloween a little bit. Just quickly.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, change the bad guy. Don't make it the mom.
Yes, change the bad guy. Make it the werewolf neighbor.
Yeah.
Make the neighbor an actual werewolf. Because that
Yes.
could be fun. And
Because he could still be in a mental hospital for that, because no one believes werewolves
nobody
are
believes him.
real.
But then this is because he was bitten 20 years ago, and he will only and we can rewrite the werewolf rules, because who cares? So he can only become a werewolf on the 31st of October when it's a full moon. And how often does that happen? Oh, maybe once every 10 years or something. So he's like,
so this is the year he's gonna transform, and that's why no one's ever seen him transform either.
Exactly.
Why no one in the mental hospital believes him, because he's never transformed before.
Yeah, and they're not gonna keep him locked up, so he has to like lock himself up. He has to escape from his prison to lock himself up in the house, and that would make sense.
Like everyone from him.
Yeah. And that would make sense when he finds the tombstone and sees that the guy never died, which was also just a red herring. The name, he has stolen that name.
Such a weird thing, though.
Yeah, there was no death date for that person, so. But what was the
point?
point?
He's not dead yet, but where is he then?
I don't know. It was a pointless.
What's the point of that?
It's a pointless red herring. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Stupid. And then don't make Hubie a Halloween fanatic. Like, he can enjoy Halloween, but it's not
What
like
else?
Halloween is special for him. What it is, it's a special day because there's a lot of activity during Halloween, and he is this character who is he cares for his town, he cares for all the townspeople, even though they can find him a little bit annoying, that he's overprotective, and yeah, he's a little dim-witted, like, oh, you stupid Hubie, oh, I'm sorry I messed up. Not like that,
Yeah.
but sort of like that. Make him awkward.
And he's, like you said, he's like the neighborhood watch, the self-proclaimed neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
So tonight, because it's Halloween, of course he's gonna be out watching.
He's always patrolling, but especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
It's
when
a big
people do
deal.
extra.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids are going around alone on Halloween, of course. Like, that makes sense.
And that's why the police are annoyed with him, because he's always trying to do like citizens arrests, like, and these are things that are already in the movie. They're just not used properly.
Yeah.
And that's why some of his old schoolmates are still annoyed with him, because he's still the same stupid hall monitor as he was when he was a kid. And that's why the teens are kind of mean to him, because our parents are always telling us about stupid Hubie when he was 12 and did this and this and this. But then there are, of course, people who like him. The people who liked him in school, the people who like him now, his mom, of course. And he's going out to patrol, and everyone's like, yeah, you patrol every Halloween, but nothing ever happens.
But this time,
people start disappearing.
Happens.
Yeah.
Others notice that people disappear compared to in this one where they didn't really react to it.
I actually, since I was watching this kind of critically, I did keep tabs on the runtime. It's 47 minutes before someone disappears. That means that there's less than an hour left of the movie when the first person is actually taken by, well, what turns out to be the mom. We do get a hint earlier on with the pig who has been mauled, but that isn't actually by the murder. It's by Crazy Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
because he thought it was a werewolf, so he ate a pig.
Well, he attacked the pig.
Well, he attacked the pig, yeah.
Ate some of it, I guess.
Yeah. And,
Which that pit that can stay again because it is the hint that there is a monster around. Because who attacks a pig in its pen?
yeah. And then you could have it more like you have the typical 20-minute setup with all the characters, and then around half an hour he goes out. It's Halloween night. It's time to start patrolling, and by this time, one person they've discovered a body in the forest. It's not a local, but he's like a hitchhiker, and he's been attacked by some animal, and you have the new neighbor appearing and saying what the fuck? We said, the scene where he says hello to Hubie and all that.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "If you hear noises,
If you hear
don't,
noises, yeah.
don't bother. It's fine."
Yeah, because he's not actually a bad guy. He doesn't want to kill people. He still
so he doesn't want anyone to come walk in on him because then he might not be able to control himself.
Exactly. And you can even have that the other escaped mental patient. But then you can't have them both be mental patients then.
Yeah, you could, because he believes him.
Yeah, but
so
I mean,
he wants
then
to,
we need
he
to
wants
know.
to
We need to
help him, maybe.
But we need to
control
know
it.
that the first one has escaped, and they need to mention that because they don't mention it in this one until the end.
Oh, that's true, and then like
Maybe they have a
maybe
connection.
yeah,
Or
or
these.
maybe that's something that you mentioned in the background.
No. I got it. Since Steve Buscemi thinks he's a werewolf, and he's thought this for the last 40 years since he was like a teenager, because he was bit by a wolf, and every time there's a full moon on Halloween, he thinks he becomes a werewolf, and his younger brother totally believes this as well and has seen him transform, which made him go insane. And he says, I have to like rescue my brother. He's become a werewolf. He was put into an insane asylum because of this. This is way more backstory than they actually need, but still. And now
This could all be explained in like 5 minutes, probably.
Yeah. And now that the time has come for a full moon on Halloween, he has to escape the insane asylum to stop his brother from becoming a werewolf.
And killing people.
Yeah, exactly. And since this movie, did you get the feeling, because it was very mixed, was this like a kids movie or was it a movie for grown-ups? Because it was very silly. They had to over-explain everything like they're talking to children, but then they had the plot with what are they called? The six people. What are they called? The people who are not. She's not attracted to him anymore. The wife and husband.
The Hennessy's.
Thank you. And like, there's a bunch of like, oh, I'm not sexually attracted to my husband anymore. Those are not jokes. That,
no,
like,
those are the kind of jokes that you throw in because the grown-ups who are watching this with their children should have fun as well.
Yeah, but it's
innuendos that because they do stuff like that in like other kids movies. And
yeah,
Disney
but
movies
here
well.
there's like a whole chunk of the movie where these characters are in it for a long time and they make that joke over and over again. Like, no kid is gonna want to watch that. It's like, what are these people talking about sex? What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not subtle. So if
you could cut that scene, according to me, and just make it a kids movie.
Yeah. So in that case, if it is a movie for both grown-ups and kids, I would say that the werewolf guy actually kills people, and they find more bodies. Not that just they disappear, but that they actually turn up dead. And Hubie realizes that, oh shit, something's going down. I'm actually gonna have to do something this year, and it becomes a chase movie basically, where he has to find the werewolf. And the kids
kind of like they do in this one when he's running around trying to find where he is, and then he finds the dog, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's the dog!"
Yeah,
but, better.
The problem is when that starts happening, the first people he starts looking for are the love interest Violet Valancourt is her name, I think.
Valentine.
Violet Valentine, right? Which is another thing. A lot of
she's another holiday.
All right, that's true, but that's also a thing in Adam Sandler movies where all his love interests, not all but many, have the initials VV. It's Vicky Valancourt in
Yeah.
uh, Waterboy, and it's Veronica Vickers in Happy Gilmore, I think it is. There's a bunch of VVs. It's the same in Billy Madison. I think it's another movie, and I think it's.
Do you have a thing, V?
Yeah, me and Christopher has been theorizing that he had like a teenage crush when he was a kid, who was called VV something, Veronica Violet something, and he's kind of writing that into his movies nowadays, just because.
Is he married?
Oh, he's married. Yes, his wife is in this movie. His wife is in a lot of movies. She's the
Oh yeah, Jackie Sandler.
yeah, the reporter who's on location in Salem. You know, the other joke that they ruined, where every hot girl or wannabe hot girl dresses up as
they failed on that one. They dressed up as Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad.
Yes, exactly.
They failed though, because that came out in
2016.
2016.
I know.
It's not that Harley Quinn costume that is gonna be the Harley Quinn costume this year. It's from Birds of Prey. They should have done Birds of Prey.
But no one's gonna dress up as Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey.
No, but if you're gonna dress up as Harley Quinn, you're gonna do Birds of Prey. When that movie came out, a lot of cosplayers did go out of the way to find the costume
and I
make the costume.
I get why, and I get why they did the joke, because I'm pretty sure you're still gonna see a bunch of Harley Quinns this year, because she's still kind of in the zeitgeist. Because
I think they're not gonna do the Suicide Squad outfit. They're gonna do the Birds of Prey outfits. You think?
No. Huh. Because if there's one good thing, or whatever you want to call it, that came out of the Suicide Squad movie, it was Margot Robbie's performance. And that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That is still probably going to be a popular outfit. And that's funny then that all three news people dressed up the same way. And I was like, that's kind of funny, that because everyone's doing it because they want to be the hot chick. But then I think it's Sandler's wife who mentions it. No, it's the anchor says, "Oh, you dressed up as Harley Quinn as well." And then she says, "Yes, we're all Harley Quinn now." That ruined the joke.
I think she says, like, who wouldn't want to go as a sexy piece of ass or something.
Exactly. They should have just not mentioned it. It should have just been, oh, looks. That they should have just looked at each other and realized, oh, we're all dressed as the same person.
Yeah, just do like side eyes or something. Yeah, the nervous laughter kind of thing.
Don't
tell us.
Yeah, they ruined the joke. That was kind of a funny joke.
That they would put in a man in with them being dressed as Harley Quinn as well.
Yeah.
That would have sort of been like in character for Adam Sandler to write that in, and also kind of be more funny, to be honest.
Yeah, but no, they
also cringe, but kind of funny.
But they had to mention and say, hey, we're all dressed as the same character. That's goofy and completely.
And then he used it again though when her daughter is dressed as her as well.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
A 5-year-old.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting Cuties vibe. I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. So
you did see. I think Kevin James is her husband in the movie. No, it wasn't Kevin James. It was someone else. Either way, you can see the husband being like, "Oh God, my baby."
Yeah. So that was one of, because that's pretty early in the movie, and I gotta say, I liked the movie in the beginning. I thought, hey, this could be kind of fun. Or at least
I think so too. I think it's until they start doing the boner joke. To be honest.
Yeah.
It was kind of okay and sort of funny until
I was
boner joke, because then they started repeating stuff. They started doing those childish poop jokes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was with the movie, but then they ruined the Harley Quinn joke, and I was like, oh, okay, no, it's this level of comedy, okay. Yeah, but there are little changes you could do to the plot, where you could actually make it more interesting, and maybe he's not actually looking for a werewolf. He keeps looking for this escaped mental patient, and when he finds him, he realizes, oh, he's not actually the murderer. let's team up, and it could be Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider running around looking for a werewolf. That could be
Yeah.
sort of fun. But no, instead it's just them walking around doing nothing. There's no action in the movie. There's no like, I mean, he rides his bicycle. That's the closest you get to like a car chase. But there's no car chase. There's no there's no werewolf running over the roofs and them running like we gotta catch up to it. There's nothing like that. There's no like oh he's coming at us, shoot him. There's just people walking around and saying funny things.
Yeah.
That's it's supposed to be like a comedy with a little bit of horror in it, but it's not. The closest you get to kind of creepy horror stuff is in the corn maze, where the kid from the deli who's dressed up as Freddie Mercury is captured and like dragged into the corn. Ugh, that's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But that's the only time. Yeah. It should have been more like the Goosebumps movie that came out a couple of years ago with Jack Black. It's like
I haven't actually seen that one.
I've only seen parts of it. Yeah, so I don't actually know. But you actually have monsters, you have action and adventure in that movie. And
somewhat scary stuff, at least.
Yeah, and I've heard from people who saw it that it's actually, like, for younger kids, it's a fun, exciting adventure. This is just, it's an Adam Sandler movie that's not really for kids. It's not really for grown-ups. It's, who the hell is it for? I don't know. And it's just annoying, and it got worse and worse and worse the longer. And when we come to the end, where the mother has to explain in detail why she did what she did and how she did it, and then have all the characters explain why they hate Hubie so much, it was just like, it was like they were explaining for kindergarten children, like, oh, I'm bullying Hubie because of this. And it's just like, once again, is this...
I don't even remember what the other three people say, what their reason is. I only remember Ray Liotta's reasoning.
Yeah, the other... the Hennessy's, they just... Yeah, it's something about... Because she mentions, like, you've never had sex, right? And he's like, nope. And that makes her jealous of him? Or
what?
I don't actually remember. It's something weird like that. And I know that the husband is mad because Adam Sandler or Hubie still has a full head of hair or something.
Oh, right. He
wears a weird toupee.
Wig toupee thingy.
Which is stupid because they gave me like an egg head, so it just lays on top. It made it.
But that doesn't make sense. Why why pick on the stupid kid because he's got a full head of hair when everyone else in town has a full head of hair? That makes no sense.
Pick on the cop who's got like a real musty mullet still.
Yeah.
And then the kid who dressed up as Freddie Mercury, he made fun of Hubie because he's really easy to scare, which, okay, I get that. That's
kids do.
Yeah. I mean, when we still lived at our parents' house, I loved to scare you because
I remember that.
You scared really easy, and it's funny, so I get that.
Bastard.
Yeah, at least I get that one. It's funny. And they show a montage of him scaring Hubie. I actually laughed at that because it's funny when people get scared.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. When he's drinking coffee on the toilet, I actually laughed at that.
Okay, but yeah, because why? Who the fuck drinks coffee on the toilet and doesn't lock the door properly?
I don't know. Anyway.
Sorry. But I mean, I can understand that one because Mike, whatever his name was, Mike Mundy, he's a kid.
Oh, right.
Kids do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
The others are adults.
They're adults, yeah. But in Adam Sandler movies, that doesn't mean much to be an adult.
No, age does not have... Age is just number in Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, exactly.
Literally. Because,
So then he becomes the town hero, and they once again allude that his mother was a witch because he disappears, and you hear a...
Yeah, I didn't really catch that bit. I'm like,
and they
What was the explanation? How
yeah,
the hell did
no,
she manage this?
they didn't elaborate on that at all. But they talked about her great 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 grandma being a witch, and she did the look Frankenstein trick, which Hubie used a couple of times to disappear.
Uh,
So maybe she was a witch, but the movie's over now, so let's not care about that.
if they had explored that and fleshed that out, then maybe that would have been a
Yeah,
plausible
yeah,
storyline. But since they didn't, since they started mixing in a fake werewolf and escaped mental patient, it was just too much. I mean, sure, you want to have, because the radio host as well could have been like a witch, sort of, because her voice and what she said was spooky and witchy and
yeah,
fun, and then it turned out to be a dude.
yeah. Those that's also
What?
typical Adam Sandler joke. Haha, this guy is like a girl. Like, yeah, that was
And
funny in the
then this girl is
90s.
the guy.
Yeah.
But they're together and they love each other in disgusting ways, eating sandwiches from.
Yeah,
Well,
why is that a joke? I don't get it.
I don't know. See,
It
that's the thing about Adam Sandler movies. They always have those gross jokes that like we see in Sweden, Kissobergs humor.
yeah, dick
They
and fart
always have
jokes.
to have, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, they always have to have that element, that joke thrown in a couple of times every now and then. I mean, they had it with the dog eating its own poop.
Ugh, yeah.
I think they almost had it again at the end of the haunted house, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, and
They
then
had it with
the
the mushing their faces together with the sandwich in between, and you have it when they have the awkward kiss between Hubie and Violet because they kissed awkwardly
oh
or almost kissed awkwardly, I guess.
yeah, and then the weird like not really homophobic, not really transphobic, but some kind of weird thing that yeah, Shaquille O'Neal has a woman's voice when he talks on the radio, and you're supposed to be weirded out by it. Yeah, it's jarring because oh, I thought it was a girl, but it was Shaquille O'Neal. But that's
It would have been better if it was a woman who had that voice.
yeah. What was the yeah
And she could have been like the one who helps him or something.
yeah? The whole joke there
Like they
is
kind of did.
the whole joke there is that you've heard a woman on the radio, and when he walks into the radio station, it's Shaquille
A dude.
O'Neal.
A big ass black dude.
Oh, haha, that's weird. And like I said,
But then they just
it's not actually homophobic. It's not actually transphobic. But
there's a hint of it.
something weird there, and I
Especially since they exaggerated by adding his wife being someone with a
yeah,
very dark, manly voice,
talking like this. Yeah,
even though she looks like a sweet old lady.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, something weird, and
That's just
and I don't get not like oh I don't think that's funny. No, I actually don't get what is supposed to be the joke there. That it is just a juxtaposition. Shaquille O'Neal, woman's voice. Is that the joke?
I think so, but
Okay.
I'm not sure and
Sure,
I didn't get it.
it made me go, oh, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not funny.
What's the joke? I don't get it. Anyway, but then the movie ends. Hubie, of course, he gets together with the weird lady who was way too attached to him.
Who is way out of his league, obviously, because she was the hat trick of high school.
Yeah, but she liked him, so that's okay. I get it, but the
And
character's
the
just
kids
weird
are
because
okay
she's
with it. It's just also weird.
yeah, but that's because they like Hubie. I mean, I get that, but the weird thing is that she is so into him from the beginning. It's weird.
She's obsessed.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
weird.
schoolgirl crushing on him.
Yeah.
When,
So
like we said, there's nothing there to make you want to crush on him.
yeah, and then but whatever, they get married or whatever, and then there is like a
He becomes He becomes the mayor
yeah,
of
because
the
the
town.
mayor, which makes sense because he cares about the city. It makes sense.
True,
But they
but is
should have,
he capable to make the important decisions?
and that's not important, because
No, we put someone else to do that part. He can have
no,
assistants.
I just mean that it's just to signal that he cares about this town. I was fine with that. But yeah, it kind of comes out of left field in the last scene of the movie. But I was more fine with that than them getting together.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. And then and then the movie's just over. We don't really see what happens with the mental patients.
No, but they kind of like
I guess
want to
like
go
say
back.
we
I think.
yeah they kind of like say oh let's go back. Oh okay, not that
Yeah, and I
they
mean
like
they're in police custody, so
yeah. Not,
even though they run around without cuffs and everything.
it should have been like they're working sort of what's it called? They have to like mandatory what's it called service or whatever. Um, sort of like Sam Hall here in Sweden.
Yeah, picking trash and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. So you see them in town like, hey Hubie, when he goes by, they're like
Yeah,
in chains and they're like a guard next to them or something, just to show them. I don't know. That could have been funny, I guess. But if that was in the
and
movie,
it's like a little bit of an extra joke.
yeah. But I guess if that was in the movie, I would have complained about it because you would never put mental patients out in the open like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased.
Maybe they could have passed by the mental hospital and see them in the yard.
Something I don't know.
Make them have an ending because they were the most useless characters with the most potential.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't think we didn't get like we do sometimes a full ass script.
no. There's just little
But
things you
there's-
could change to make the movie a little more interesting.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, because I mean, it has an okay base.
Yeah, like I said, it's fun that it's Halloween.
Yeah,
They're in Salem. Like they should have done more things. Yeah, I was gonna say that before. They should have done more things with the witches. Maybe it's not. It's a full moon, so maybe all the descendants of the witches that are like gonna like congregate and actually that's what summons the werewolf. Do something fun with that. But there is exactly. So,
which is a shame because they do have the perfect setup. You have Salem, full moon, Halloween, and it correlates with an actual full moon on Halloween because this year is supposed to be a full moon on Halloween.
Oh really?
Yes,
Okay.
and it's the first full moon on a Halloween in like a century or something. Well, not a century maybe, but in a long time.
Yeah. So why not do something with that?
Yeah. I
Um,
thought that they would when they mentioned it. It was like, oh my god, that's so fun. They looked it up and they matched it up to the year they were going to release it. That's
Yeah.
actually so much fun.
But you know what?
And no,
They didn't think of that at
no.
all. That's the thing. It's lazy. All his movies are lazy. And with a little more effort, they could be like kind
Probably
of good movies.
great sometimes.
Not great, but fun. 6 out of 10,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And the jokes, most of the jokes just seem thrown in to fill out with laughter. But they fail because they use the wrong kind of joke that doesn't fit in, that is done so many times before, and it's just
And sorry for cutting in, but
no, it's fine.
if they want to keep putting Adam Sandler in movies where he wants to be like, yo, I'm the weird guy with the weird voice, he shouldn't be the main. He shouldn't be the main character anymore. The main character in this movie should have been Violet Valentine's son, because he was kind of awkward as well, and they could bond over that.
Yeah, this could have been a great teen coming of age sort of thing movie.
Yeah,
With movie being in the background, sort of.
Yeah, and having Adam Sandler be kind of like the mentor character, and I mean, you could still have him technically like share the lead, so they kind of team up.
Yeah.
But that character is it's a much easier character for the audience to kind of connect with than Hubie, who's just weird. And you need that kind of the straight man in the lead to kind of connect with. But yeah.
Yeah, because no one's gonna connect to Hubie really.
Yeah. Who's gonna you might recognize Hubie in like some weirdo that you know from school, but it's not gonna be the one.
Yeah, every school had that weirdo, but no, you're not gonna feel like, oh, that's how I was.
Yeah,
No.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Because even if you was the weird kid, you probably won't connect to him.
No, yeah. You don't want to connect. So yeah. Lots of different things, and we've said this so many times on the Adam Sandler podcast. It is just lazy, and with just a little bit of effort, it could have been a much better movie. A passable movie. I don't want to say much better as in great, but much better than what it is.
Yes.
You know.
I am kind of curious about how much Adam Sandler actually writes in these movies,
Well, he has.
or if he's only doing the fart jokes.
I think he and Tim Hurley comes up with the story, because they have screenplay credit. Like they wrote the actual manuscript, the
Yeah.
screenplay, not just the story. But I'm guessing that they come up with the story together, and I know the producer who has produced a lot of Adam Sandler stuff, Alan Covert, who used to have little parts in his movies, but now mostly produces. He's usually involved in the story process, but then I guess Tim Hurley is the one that actually writes the screenplay. I think that's what goes on. But Adam Sandler gets a screenplay credit, and I wonder if that is just so he can. What?
He's probably in on the what's it called, the work, basically. He's probably
Oh,
there
sure.
when they write it and
Yeah, sure.
they talk about the ideas and stuff. But then I just have a feeling that he's the one who's just like, and put a dick joke there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, rolls the dice. Now it's time for a fart joke.
But
Make him fall.
But I wonder though, because he has the lead in the movie. He is executive producer, plus it's his production company that produces the movie, and he has story and screenplay credit, which means that's 4 positions in the production team. That means he gets 4 paychecks.
Oh my word!
That's something you need to think of as well.
Yeah.
Because
but he's paying his own paychecks.
Yes, but that means but Happy Madison is not the people who are coughing up the money for this. They put in a part of it, but Netflix is the studio that actually gave Happy Madison the money to make this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So they say, oh, we got. Usually, Adam Sandler movies are about $80 million, which is way too much for a movie like this. But then, then they give Adam Sandler makes so much money. I don't know if he still makes this kind of money, but back in the early 2010s, he made $20 million per movie. That's as a base. That's what he wanted. That was his this is how much I want to make the movie, which is. That was one of the highest in Hollywood. Then, of course, a bunch of...
in early 2010 that was worth that much.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a bunch of other actors who make more money than him because of, back-end deals and percentage of the movie. Like, Robert Downey Jr. makes a lot more money.
Well,
but just the actual fee for acting, $20 million is among the highest still. I don't think he makes as much anymore. I can't see him making $20 million per movie still. But anyway, but then he can still pay himself for writing the screenplay, producing the movie, and coming up with the story. So maybe not coming up with the story, but no, he can pay himself several times.
And he's in on average 2 to 3 productions per year.
Yeah.
Since
with Happy Madison, yeah.
Since since he started in 96. No,
yes.
wait, sorry. No. Well, since in 96.
Yeah, since Billy
He's
Madison.
been in about 2 or 3 productions per year.
Yes. Because he started Happy Madison in early 2000s. And since then, at least since then, he's produced, not starred in, but produced at least 2 or 3 movies a year. So he makes a lot of money. But anyway, that's just a theory.
Christ.
And I'm not even sure that my assumptions about how they get paid in Hollywood are correct.
No.
Like I said last time, it's mostly conjecture.
Yes.
Mostly conjecture, but there's some truth to it.
But it's making him look more and more like he's just doing it for the money, and that's why the movies suck.
I mean, he's been doing it for the money, since the early 2000s, and we've talked about that in the Adam Sandler podcast as well. He is not doing it for the love of movies. There are some movies. There is you have Punch Drunk Love, you have Reign Over Me, you have Spanglish, which I don't know if you've checked out Spanglish. I discovered that movie this year.
He has a maid.
Yeah, they're not what's the next step after upper middle class. You can't really say lower upper class, but you know what I mean. They're not.
You can say lower
Yeah, I
upper
guess
class.
they're not like mega rich, but they're pretty damn rich.
Yeah,
And they
they're
get a
yeah.
mix. They
They
get a
both
mix.
have like a good paid
Yeah,
job,
exactly.
and
They get a
they
Mexican
need
maid
someone.
who's like, oh my god, how can you live like this? That
And she
movie,
has a daughter. Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, that movie. I saw it for the first time this year. That is like the greatest discovery of this decade for me. I fucking loved that movie, and the
I've
fact
not have seen that before.
because it's an Adam Sandler movie. It's like I'm not gonna watch this shit.
I mean, I have now. I don't think I've actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end. But like when it's on TV and you're like, oh, this just sort of started 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I can watch this.
Yeah, you should. I think it's on Netflix still. You should check it out.
Probably.
It's amazing. It's not his best movie, but the fact that I thought so little of it since it's an Adam Sandler comedy. It was just such an epiphany for me to say, oh my god, it's another great Adam Sandler movie. I didn't think there were anymore. So, and then of course Uncut Gems. Once again, spoilers. Amazing movie. But yeah, so those are the ones I think he has actually done because he likes to act, to make movies. But then
those movies produced by him.
no, none of those are produced by him.
Okay.
None of those are Happy Madison movies.
So maybe that's the magic formula.
Exactly. That's when he wants to show that I'm an actor. I'm a real actor.
And when he's presented with a script, he kind of likes probably.
Exactly. When he has a director that knows how to handle him, how to utilize him.
Yeah.
But then like I gotta buy a new yacht. Let's make Hubie Halloween, and I'll give myself $15 million. Perfect.
Take all the old characters, put them in a new setting, and make some fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have a lot of fun on the set. Like you saw some of the
outtakes.
outtakes in the credits. So they
Yeah.
probably have a lot of fun, and they're like a bunch of old friends that come together every now and then and just have fun.
Well, that's another thing that a lot of people have noticed over the years, that a bunch of movies he makes, he just takes his friends and goes on a vacation. Fucking 50 First Dates. He brought all his friends out, and they stayed in Hawaii for 4 weeks and shot a movie, like in the weekends, and partied the other days. Same thing with Blended. Let's go to this nice 5-star hotel in North Africa and hang out for a couple of weeks, and let's shoot a movie in between. Or just go with it. Let's go to a tropical island, hang out at this 5-star hotel, and let's shoot a movie while we're there. There's a bunch of movies like that. There's the vacation movies that he makes. Even grown-ups. Let's go to this nice big house out in the Poconos, and let's shoot a movie while we're there. That's all he does. He has paid vacations where he brings along his stupid friends who are in the movie for like 2 scenes, and they get a free vacation and like a check for $100,000 just to be in one scene.
Yeah.
And they're fine with it. Who cares?
They're living the life.
Yeah. It's literally what the fuck
Maybe
is
we're
his
just jealous.
a little bit, but it's also like there has to be, where the hell is his artistic integrity?
Where's the emotion behind it? Like, you can't. Okay, yeah, you do a lot of things just for the money, but
sure, but
movie is art.
Yeah, and you need to balance
Where's
that.
the artistry?
Yeah, his artistry is once every 4 or 5 years he makes one like wow good performance, and then he makes 10 shit movies in between. The best example is in it's 50 First Dates. There's a guy, the guy that talks like this.
Yeah,
him. Jonathan Lauren, I think his name is. Yeah, Jonathan Lauren. He is literally in 10 seconds of that movie. For that, since he is a member of SAG, Screen Actors Guild, their union, he gets a minimum of like $14,000, I think it is. And since they're all like hang out, and he's a friend of Adam Sandler, they're friends off screen. I can guarantee you that he was there at least 4 days, like an extended weekend in Hawaii to hang out, and we'll film a scene with you so we can put you in the credits and we can pay you the SAG minimum. Free
So you can hang out with us, basically.
Exactly. Free vacation and $14,000. There you go.
God damn it.
That's the formula. That's how Happy Madison makes money. And this is what me and Christopher have been like screaming about over the entire year. If you're wondering. So, yeah. But anyway, so Hoobie Halloween, it's kind of the same thing. It's just a bunch of friends who he can then pay to hang out. Okay, not in a tropical island, but they're still just hanging out and having fun, making a stupid movie on the side. So,
a beautiful setting in an interesting background sort of thing story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably all rented nice villas in the heartland of America. It's all nice.
Yeah. And they had some Halloween fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they all did dress up. Basically.
It's like Red Letter Media said when they reviewed Jack and Jill. It's the Great American Scam. He's a scam artist.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a scam artist.
God damn it.
And I kind of don't want him to be that because he has done movies where he's amazing, like Uncut Gems, like Spanglish, like Punch Drunk Love, but he's a scam artist. It's just what it is. He's a scam artist. And I think we should end it there. We've been ranting for like half an hour now. We were kind of done with the review after the first hour.
We kind of ranted the first half hour as well, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. But it's been an hour and a half now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a couple people watching, nobody commenting, unfortunately. But thank you for watching, people. And like usually, people watches this in the archives. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the final episode of the Adam Sandler podcast coming next Tuesday, or I guess this Tuesday, or whatever. The Tuesday after this airs, where we talk about Uncut Gems. And then we'll be back with a Spoilercast on Thursday, hopefully. We haven't figured out yet what we're going to watch.
We have a few movies in mind, but we haven't decided which one.
But we'll be back on Thursday, hopefully, with a new episode of the Spoilercast. And I will be uploading some horror movie reviews during October, and don't want to give too much away, but I might be releasing a huge video on Halloween Eve about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Keeping October in the Halloween theme. That's basically what's gonna happen.
So yeah, if you like horror movies and stuff like that, hit the subscribe button and the little bell thing, so you're always updated when we release new Halloweeny stuff. But until the next time, have a good one. Bye.